Here we go with a map of the United States. This is the pterodactyl sightings across the USA according to human population. And this particular map is up to date last year, and not 2021, but 2020 in April. And it tells us how many sightings approximately per particular number of human inhabitants. I think it's per 6 million humans, I think, as I recall. But this tells us something not so much about where modern pterosaurs live in North America as it does something about what we can draw from the people that are involved with the pterosaur sightings. For example, one of the biggest things that we have over so many years is that, it's misidentifications. It's a blue heron, it's a sandhill crane, it's something else, some kind of bird or something. No, and especially we can learn something about the oceanic bird, the frigate bird, which are sometimes on occasion, not commonly all the time, but on occasion, a frigate bird can be misidentified. Somebody say, it's a pterodactyl. This particular map shows very clearly. You notice let's look at the big map here. You notice the purple areas: Hawaii, Utah, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. These are areas that you could say in Hawaii where people are just misidentifying frigate bird. People are visiting Hawaii all the time. They're not from Hawaii. And this is important. Many of the people that have sightings of apparent pterodactyls in the United States are in Hawaii, for example. The people are visiting there, on vacation and so on. So they would not be aware of frigate birds. But look at the other ones. That's just one. Look at this: Utah, Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas. These are places that are just almost as far away as possible from the ocean. There's no oceanic frigate birds that are going to congregate there over a period of years and just have a big influx of migration of frigate birds from the ocean into the central part of North America. No, this is definitely not that type of misidentification. And it can possibly tell us something about the people in those areas. Perhaps they're more likely to report, for some reason or other, more likely to report a sighting of an apparent pterodactyl in this area. But it doesn't really tell us a lot about where pterodactyls are found because it's so indirect. These are just eyewitness reports from people, not the animals themselves. The people that are mostly reported their sighting to me. Occasionally, a few of these sightings are more indirect, where I get the information from one of my associates or another cryptozoologist, for example. But they're basically mostly reports directly from me, from the eyewitnesses themselves. So what we can learn is that they're just more related to humans than anything else. Not necessarily that the animals themselves congregate in that area. We have most of the sightings, from California, and but there's so many humans in California to get a sighting. So much land area in California where a person could have a sighting, similar to Texas, which is not too far behind California, as I recall. So we can learn some things also from wingspan estimates. This is from a compilation of wingspan estimates we have at the end of the year 2012, when I compiled the data over a period of years. And this particular data, it's very, very evenly spaced. We can see that there's no hoax. There's no hill or mountain where you would expect to find like anything above the average sizes of birds or even large birds. There are quite a few, but there's no really hill or bump there. The data is very even, in other words. It's like Kansas. Oh, boy. A little bit like southern Louisiana, which there's no hills or mountains at all. There's a reason for that. We'll get into that other places. We've talked about this before. But it also shows you there's no hoax. I mean, there's no hoax, but there's also no misidentification, because it would result in this kind of numbers. So I hope you can continue with us in the future in these videos about sighting reports of apparent pterodactyls in the United States and other parts of the world, because we do have sightings all over. To give you a typical sighting, the one thing about a typical sighting in the United States is this. Average person, sometimes well-educated, sometimes not, generally has no previous knowledge or hardly any knowledge about sighting reports of apparent pterosaurs anywhere. And they will see it, apparent pterodactyl. At first looking at it, when they first look at it, they think it's a bird. They just assume it's a bird. They're not looking for a pterodactyl, with rare exceptions. They're just looking and think, what? That's a strange bird. And then all of a sudden they realize it's not just a strange bird, it's a pterodactyl. It's a prehistoric dinosaur bird. Flying dinosaur, what do they call it? Thunderbird, whatever they call it. It's just not a bird. And so they try to deal with it, and very few of them contact me. But please come back to this channel, Protect Animal Life, and also remember this Animal Discovery, which is a new nonprofit organization that will soon be organized. And we have contact information here to contact me if you have a sighting, or if you know somebody that has a sighting. Just get in touch with me. Thank you very much for your time, and please see the others. There's getting close to 200 videos on this channel now. Protect Animal Life. Almost all the videos about modern pterodactyls and sightings of these incredible flying creatures. And thank you for your time.